My name is Chen. I have come here to avenge my teacher.
If only I could find that Chen. I'd enjoy killing him. It would give me great pleasure.
Yeah, but I hear he's an extremely good fighter. I've heard him called Fist of Fury. So you want to see how good you are?
Our story begins with our protagonist Chen Zhen returning to his home of Shanghai to marry the love of his life, but he soon discovers that his kung fu master and leader of the Jingwu school has died under mysterious circumstances. Completely heartbroken and devastating, Chen doesn't have any time to mourn, as a little time after, people from the rival Japanese dojo arrive to taunt the Jingwu students, insulting their master, presenting a sign titled "Sick Men of Asia," and challenging everyone to a fight, all at the guy's funeral. Suffice it to say, this is pretty upsetting, but the Jingwu students are adamant about keeping the peace. But Chen alone cannot contain his fury, and unleashes his fists onto all the people that have wronged him and his countrymen. Set against the backdrop of colonial Shanghai in the early 1900s, the film Fists of Fury seems to be steeped in a very entertaining and action-filled revenge plot with a good dose of historical fantasy to boot. What surprised me the most about rewatching this film was the sheer amount of melodrama and comedy that was also included in between all the scenes of ass-kicking throughout the film. It was honestly a pleasant surprise. Now, the Japanese as antagonists are the main driving force of the narrative, and I think it's important to discuss that some of the depictions of them in this movie may be seen as, well, problematic. I mean, they all wear traditional kimonos, everyone owns a Japanese sword, they even enter every room with a kabuki theater-style soundbite. You know, the very typical Japanese stereotypes. However, there are some other weirder depictions of the villains in this movie, like the main bad guy having what seems to be a Waluigi-style mustache, this other guy here who has golden grills for some reason, and then the Russian. Oh my god, the Russian. This guy comes in swinging halfway through the movie with a perm and a handlebar mustache? What is he? What even is that? Is this a stereotype I didn't know about?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
That being said, the depictions of these particular villains are usually so cartoonishly evil that it borders on parody. This film also apparently did very well in Japan for some reason, so I don't know, you figure out what that means. It seems pretty clear that this is a historical revenge fantasy. One in particular where the main character tends to solve all of the problems of colonialism and racism by kicking it straight in the face. Is it particularly subtle? Not really. Is it entertaining though? Oh, absolutely. And that's why I give the story for Fist of Fury a 4 out of 5 stars. For me, what really pushes this film past most of its contemporaries, in my opinion, is the acting, especially for Bruce Lee. I would argue that this is some of the best acting he has done in a film. But what really impresses me is the sheer range of emotions he's able to depict whenever he's on camera. Like, for instance, there's this great scene where after his character Chen has just killed a couple of people he suspects of murdering his master. This entire scene shows him flip from one emotion to another so easily, and with very little dialogue from Bruce's part. He can give a single look that speaks volumes more than I would ever imagine a kung fu movie capable of depicting. His performance is so good that, in my opinion, it doesn't give a lot of the other characters time to shine. Yes, the villains can be comical sometimes in their evil, but also very simplistic. The other characters just seem to be reacting to things around them, and motivations can be kind of confused. All in all, I don't think a lot of other characters have a good amount of time to shine, with a few notable exceptions. Like the Japanese interpreter, who pulls off being a slimy creep very well, and of course my personal favorite, the overworked and very tired Chinese detective who is absolutely over all of this kung fu nonsense.
I'll find out soon enough, so why not tell me? This is no simple affair. You know how strong the Japanese are, especially here in the settlement. I'm only doing my duty as a policeman. Don't you see that?
Now, it's no secret that kung fu movies are pretty notorious for having low budgets. And that may be the case for Fist of Fury as well, but it certainly uses every single penny of that budget. It has plenty of detailed and interesting costumes and really well-designed sets throughout the film, including the Jingwu School and the mysterious graveyard. Even the Japanese antagonists get an absolutely gorgeous-looking evil villain base. But, in my mind, what really elevates this movie past its contemporaries is how good the cinematography looks. Every single frame of this movie is a painting, and the shot composition is as diverse as the action scenes in this film. And if I were to go into detail of all the ways I loved how this movie was shot, we'd frankly be here all day. Now, I will admit, the film is still filmed pretty economically, considering that there are only really 3 locations in the entire film, and maybe some of the makeup and costume design can be problematic, but it's really the camera work that elevates this film to legendary status. And if that's the only merit we're going to be looking at, then I would give this film a full 5 out of 5 stars for special effects. Yeah, it's pretty good. 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, now to the best part. The fights in this movie are absolutely phenomenal. And I would argue this is some of the best display of martial arts Bruce Lee has ever done in any of his films. The fight at the Japanese dojo alone is legendary. And this is due in no small part to how excellent the choreography is throughout the film. And the large reason for that is Bruce Lee did all the choreography himself. Yeah, if there's one guy who can make Bruce Lee look really good in a fight, it's Bruce Lee himself. But this wouldn't nearly be as impressive if it wasn't for the camera work and absolutely phenomenal cinematography, which enhances every single punch and kick that we see on screen. Honestly, the only way these fights could be any cooler is if they all started fighting with lightsabers. I rest my case. 5 out of 5 stars. And now we finally come to the end of the review. Time to tally up all the marks and see where Fist of Fury lies on the charts. And the final number is... wow, a solid 22 out of 25. A near perfect kung fu movie. Well, folks, that's all we have time for today, but I enjoyed you stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Kung Fu Christmas. Until I see you next time, happy holidays, and I'll see you again real soon.